Music Fest 2014, this is Go Island. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and we are so excited to be here at Vancouver Island Music Fest. Another fantastic year, great sunshine all weekend. It's going to be fabulous. Now, over here we've got the beer tent area, and then over here behind me we've got this gigantic shade tent, which is really old, but still holding it together. And then circling the entire main stage area is shopping, bring money. The stage area, of course, lots of hive of activity this morning, getting prepped and ready, all the electronics in place. They even have an ATM for you if you don't have enough money, and of course the CD tent for music sales, and I think some artists will be signing. And then of course all the food, which is on the other side over there. Food, I can already smell it. They're already cooking. I'm getting really hungry. So 10,000 people every day on site right here at the Comox Valley Exhibition Grounds for the 2014 Vancouver Island Music Fest. It is a huge economic plus for the entire valley. $3 million plus coming into the valley this weekend alone. It's going to be spectacular. If you don't have tickets, sadly you are out of luck. They are sold out. Camping has been sold out since March. Plan ahead for next year. They always have awesome entertainment and artists from all over the world. Another great year this year. Right now, we're going to head up to Campbell River to check in with Marjorie Greaves, and she brings us a fabulous story about a community garden, and it's very relaxing. Have a look. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and you're watching Go Island on Shaw TV's Channel 4. It is Music Fest! We are so excited to be here on site. It is going to be a fantastic weekend. The sun is out, there is not a cloud in the sky, and Sue Wood is with me right now.
What, are you a fan? Are you a fan of music? Could you be any more excited?
No, I am a fan.
Oh, it's so fabulous.
Love music.
Yeah. And this festival just kills it every year. It's
20
just
years?
fantastic. 20 years.
20 years.
Isn't that remarkable?
Stunning.
Yeah, and I have been here for all three of them.
And all three of them, let's see, didn't they sell out?
3 years in a row.
3
Yes.
years in a row.
Truly, and has nothing to do with the stellar talent. It's all about the marketing. When you get the likes of Bonnie Raitt, it's a pretty easy gig.
Oh, You've got angels somewhere working on you.
Yay me.
And horseshoes and all that kind of stuff.
But we're going to put 10,000 people in this park potentially every day for the next 3 days.
Unbelievable.
So we need
logistics.
to
Let's talk about
we
that.
need to talk a little bit about getting here. So as is my mantra these days, there is no parking at Vancouver Island Music Fest. We have outstanding shuttle facilities. The Destiny River Shuttle is going to pick you up at the Comox Quality Foods and also at Driftwood Mall. $2 a ride gets you here. They then pick you up and take you back. So don't worry about bringing your car.
$2 each day or each way?
$2 a ride, yep. So you're $2 coming, $2 going.
$2 fine, okay.
Yeah. The other thing is, bring your bike. It's good for you, and we will also look after it when you get here. We're going to put it in the big bike. Bike lockup is fantastic. We've got a bunch of really qualified and genuinely interested in bike riding volunteers looking after that space. Bring your own lock, but when you come to the grounds, you'll check it into the bike lockup, and then you'll have, basically the run of the place, and you don't have to worry about your bike that way. If you absolutely positively have to park or bring your car, there is parking at Vanier, and there's also parking at the sports center.
But I would think that that's going to fill up really quickly.
I would too, but sometimes things can't be avoided, and people need to do that, so there are some facilities.
Okay.
The other thing I would like to say is that all of the laws of the land still apply inside Vancouver Island Music Fest during the festival. So don't bring in liquor, don't break the laws, don't think you can come and throw everything caution to the wind.
Right.
So all of the land
because you do have security. You do
Yes.
have highly talented, trained security.
But Music Fest has a wonderful reputation of really no issue.
That's right.
This crowd, the people that come here, love the music. They come for the music.
Yes.
And they celebrate it each and every time, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place.
All right, now you're going to stay with us for another little chat about something very special, but in the meantime, we're taking a quick break. We'll be right back. Go Island, we're on location at Music Fest. Of course, behind me is Grierson Stage, and beyond that is camping. By the way, camping has been sold out since March. So if you're thinking you want to come and camp next year, get it on the calendar to be booking early, basically right after Christmas, and buy your tickets the same time. Because again, third year in a row, Music Fest is sold out. Now, you see all the fencing? 9,000 feet of fencing, 200 volunteers that work on the construction crews. It takes them 4 days, working 14-hour days to get it all set up, and the same amount to get it all down. Fantastic. Volunteers, 1,300 strong for the whole festival. It's pretty amazing. And now we're going to head to the other side of Comox Valley for a little sneak peek into a new theater production. Have a look. All right, we are back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Shaw TV on Channel 4. Sue Wood is staying with us. She's in charge of marketing and promotion. Music Fest, unbelievable. 10,000 people a day.
Yeah.
How do you keep them under control?
You know, the Music Fest only ever happens because of the volunteer support that we get from this community.
How many are you talking about?
We're 1,300 volunteers.
1,300 volunteers.
And 1,300 volunteers
That's
doing
amazing.
everything that needs to be done. It is, you know, we can't thank them enough because it just couldn't happen without them.
We're standing here in the volunteer check-in, and what was first shocking to me is that there's 4 different tables, and each table is for a different crew.
Right. So
that's like a different number of crews.
Right. So the volunteer system that has been developed over the years and is
Okay.
now being managed by Amy James, who is our volunteer coordinator.
Okay.
We broke it down into crews. You need to know what job needs to be done and how many people need to be there to do it over the 3 days.
Right.
So you don't just volunteer for Music Fest, you volunteer to be on volunteer security, or you're going to be part of the Media Fest crew.
The screw crew, the
screw
fencing crew, the
the
contract shuttle,
the fencing crew and the
electrical.
contract guys. 200 volunteers have been on site since Monday afternoon.
Wow.
Building the festival.
Okay.
Then when they're done, they hang around for 3 days, enjoy the festival, and then they all take it down again. So the intricacies of putting on Vancouver Island Music Fest is mind-boggling.
I like your comment earlier when we were talking, and you said you come and you hang out and then you go away, and it's like watching time-lapse photography,
Right.
because every time you come back, something else has changed.
It's very fun for me. I come in and out of the site several times throughout the process of building it.
Yeah.
And every time I come back, when we were walking over here, there's another fence up. So, okay, so that has changed. And I watched the build. I
Yeah.
was so thrilled because I came back on Tuesday and the big shade tent wasn't up. I came back 2 hours later.
And it was
The
up.
shade tent was up. And then I came
Awesome.
back on Wednesday and the truck had rolled in with the main bowl stage.
Yeah.
And they were just emptying it out of the truck. And then I came back Thursday morning and bang, it's up. It's just the best, growing the festival thing.
Awesome.
It's very cool.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time today.
And
It's
thank you
been
for
great.
your support and coming down and spending it with us.
Oh, it's our absolute pleasure.
Yay.
Right, Gord?
Totally, Gord.
Who gets to go on vacation tomorrow for 3 weeks.
He's coming here for the festival.
I know.
I know.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, but stay tuned. We've got a very special guest lined up for after. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and we are on location at the Vancouver Island Music Fest. We are in the barn, which doesn't really look like a barn because of all the amazing decorations. It is spectacular. But we're going to talk to you about the musicians. This is Doug Cox. He is the artistic director, 20 years strong. This is amazing. And continually, you have come up with a wide variety of musicians to come. You've got everything from gospel to folk to rock. How do you do that every year?
Oh, thank you. Well, I just try really hard to make it as diverse as possible with a big mix of styles of music and what part of the world people come from. There's world music, folk, jazz, blues, country, rock, sometimes even classical. And try and create a balanced thing that's got a little bit of everything, along with making sure that the musicians that come here can play together too,
Right.
on the workshop stages.
Right, of course. Now, I was on the website last night, because you can go to the website and you can look at all the artists. They have video up of them playing. And I really was struck by Angelique.
Angelique Kidjo,
Yes.
yeah, she's down sound checking right now on
Is she?
on the main
Oh.
stage. And she's an
Fantastic.
African superstar.
Yes.
She's very well known in Africa. I mean, she's known in Canada too, but we're thrilled that she's here.
I was blown away that you actually, I mean, and of course you have Bonnie Raitt and the Mavericks. Like, how do you do that year after year?
Just phone them.
Phone them. And they must know you, and they must know of the festival to even consider the offer.
Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. Some of them don't, but they're aware of the festival for sure. We've got an international reputation now as one of the best festivals. One of the bands I'm really excited about this year is Dalsori. They're the Korean orchestra.
Yes.
And they came down here last night. They came down to the site. They flew from Korea to Vancouver, got in a ferry, came over, drove up to the Comox Valley, and then drove down to the site just to see the festival. And it was really fun to meet them because I was a bit nervous because they've never done anything like this before.
Oh, okay.
They're used to playing
Stages,
more formal
yes,
sort of classical style concerts.
Well,
And
this is going to be
so I was
fun
a bit
for
nervous,
them.
but they were wonderful.
Awesome.
And they just kept looking around and asking me how this all works. And finally, their interpreter said to me, "So this is just very relaxed, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, it is."
Yes, it is.
But that's what we're known for is we have possibly the best backstage hospitality of any festival I've ever been to.
Right.
We go way out of our way to look after everyone, audience, volunteers, performers.
Oh, we've covered all that with Sue earlier. We know,
And that's the feel of this festival that makes it so special is that we have, we have a lot of second generation volunteers now. It's a family.
It is very much so.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, and good luck this weekend, and congratulations on 20 years.
Thank you.
10,000 people a day, third year sold out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and now we're going to head off for a big summer adventure. Have a look. Go Island is on location today at the Vancouver Island Music Fest, and right now we're at the Woodland stage. It is so magical here. And do you want to know how they have achieved this magical? Is that, you know how we were talking earlier about volunteers? And there's all these different teams, and each team does a different thing. They actually have an ambience team of volunteers. And they create all of this beautiful, magical decorations all throughout Vancouver Island Music Festival. There are 1,600 strings of twinkle lights. 1,600! Multiply that by the hundreds of lights that are on every string. And all of these decorations are created by volunteers. It is spectacular. And now we're going to head down to Nanaimo for a little check-in. Have a look. The music checks are underway. I guess they call them sound checks. So the sound checks for Music Fest are underway. I'm Ruth Harris. Go Island is on location all weekend long here at Vancouver Island Music Fest. We are so pleased to be here for another year. This is 20 years and it's amazing. And those 20 years could not happen without volunteers. This year alone, they've got 1,300 volunteers. There was a fellow by the name of Tim Mills who volunteered for years and years and years. And sadly, he passed away recently. So what they've done is they've created this whole area called Tim Town, and it's where volunteers come to relax when they're done their shift because it's intense here. There's a lot of work that has to happen, and they've done this in memory of him. Now this year it's up front so that they can talk about it and explain to people what it is. But next year it'll move backstage where the volunteer area is. And they are looking for volunteers for next year. So if you think that you want to be involved in one of the most spectacular festivals in all of North America, then get in touch with the festival and put your name on for next year. Because there's a long process you have to go through. There are dozens of different volunteer teams, everything from electrical to construction to ambient. So you can pick and choose what your preference is, but you have to start the process early. So that's it for us. You have a fabulous weekend. We will see you next Tuesday, which we're shooting all weekend long here to produce the Tuesday show. So you're going to get a lot of information about Music Fest. It's going to be really special. So have a fabulous weekend, enjoy the weather, stay safe, lots of fluids, lots of sunscreen, very important no matter where you are, and we will see you next week.